Sub-Saharan Africa holds a curious place in the global financial landscape. It is a region defined by a stark, almost unbelievable paradox. While it offers some of the world's highest average investment returns, hovering around 11.4%, it attracts less than 2% of global foreign direct investment. For many in the Nordic region, looking for stable, long-term growth and meaningful impact, the question isn't whether the opportunity exists, but why so much capital is still looking the wrong way. Most global portfolios are still reacting to a 20th century map, defined by debt and volatility, while missing a 21st century urban awakening that is happening right now in the dark. Today, we are going to decode this $1 trillion paradox and look at the new rules of bankability in the world's youngest continent. To understand the scale of what is happening, we have to start with the people. If you look at the demographic profile of the United States or Europe, the median age is around 38. In Sub-Saharan Africa, that number is 19. 70% of the population is under the age of 20. This isn't just a statistic. It is the primary engine of the global economy for the next 50 years. We are looking at a region where 20 million young adults enter the labor force every single year. The challenge is immense, creating 15 million new jobs annually just to keep pace. But the opportunity of this demographic dividend is even larger. African cities are doubling in size in less than 23 years, moving faster than anywhere else on Earth. For an investor, this represents a massive, unprecedented migration of wealth into urban centers that require housing, services, and infrastructure on a scale we haven't seen since the industrialization of the West.
But how do you reach this population when physical infrastructure often lags behind? This is where the tech leap comes in. There is a common misconception that Africa follows the Western path of development, just at a slower pace. The reality is that Africa leapfrogs. It took the internet 23 years to reach global parity in Africa, but artificial intelligence has managed to do it in just 3. We are seeing a rapid adoption of large language models because in lower-income countries, AI isn't used to replace workers, it is used to augment them. It gives humans in physical sectors like agriculture and trade superpowers they didn't have before. Consider the success of Transsion, a company that became a global manufacturing leader by specifically engineering smartphone cameras to flatter darker skin tones rather than using standard Western algorithms. This kind of hyperlocal innovation is where the real value is being created, focusing on augmentation rather than automation. For the Nordic investor, the most critical piece of this puzzle is likely the shift in the investment climate regarding environmental, social, and government standards. ESG has transitioned from a nice-to-have ethical consideration to a non-negotiable requirement for bankability. It is now the primary tool for de-risking projects in the region. Whether it is the mining of critical minerals like cobalt and lithium, or the development of massive renewable energy projects, investors are using ESG to ensure capital preservation. Good governance is now seen as the backbone that allows urbanization to turn into sustainable economic growth. We are seeing a move away from simple raw material exports towards local value addition. Instead of shipping out raw lithium, the focus is shifting to local processing, capturing the green energy premium right there on the continent.
This brings us to the energy gap. 600 million people in Sub-Saharan Africa still lack reliable electricity. While that sounds like a barrier, it is actually the lifeblood of the new investment frontier. We are seeing a move toward results-based finance and impact bonds, where the source of repayment is often AAA rated, backed by global institutions. This allows for the scaling of mini-grids and off-grid solar that provides a hand-up rather than a hand-out. This is where the narrative shifts from waiting for a government to build a power grid to investing in the companies that are bypassing the grid entirely. The most exciting development, however, is what we call the infrastructure light portfolio. Instead of waiting decades for physical roads and massive power plants, a new generation of startups is using AI and blockchain to create an invisible infrastructure. They are building a cloud-first economy that bypasses physical bottlenecks, allowing them to generate dollar-denominated revenue without needing a perfect local power grid. This is the ultimate market arbitrage. The world's highest returns are hiding in plain sight, protected by a risk perception that is increasingly outdated. If your portfolio isn't positioned for this urban awakening, you aren't just missing a trend, you are missing the largest wealth migration in human history. The map of the future is being drawn right now, and for those who understand the paradox, the potential is immense.